It's been 6 weeks since I upgraded to the Apple Watch Series 4, so I figured it was time for a review to let you know what I think, what I like, and what I don't like about this watch. Now, I've been wearing the Apple Watch Series 4 every day for the past 6 weeks, so to cut this review real short and just jump straight to the spoiler alert ending, I love it, absolutely recommend it, 10 out of 10, all the way, for sure. But here's some explanation as to why I feel that way. So I'll give you some of the good and some of the bad. There are only a couple of things I don't like about this watch, and honestly, I feel like they're either things that aren't the watch's fault, or they're carryover complaints that I also had with the original. I upgraded from the original Apple Watch, which was released in 2015. Now, this watch is actually not called the Series 1. It doesn't have an official name, it's just sort of the original Apple Watch. A lot of people call it the Series 0. In 2016, its processor was updated and it was called the Series 1. And then they also released the Series 2. And then in 2017, they released the Series 3. So there's a little bit of confusion there, but this is the original Apple Watch. So I really only have 3 major complaints with the Series 4. And the first one, which is actually really annoying me, is the lack of ECG usability. So when the Series 4 was announced, there was a big deal that it has an electrocardiogram to monitor your heart rate in a super active way, and Apple just hasn't activated that feature yet. I'm really excited about that. I think that's gonna be a really groundbreaking feature, but for whatever reason, I don't know if it's regulations or what, as of November 2018, that feature has not been activated, and that's one of the key, headlining features of this watch. The next complaint that I have about the watch is actually with the LTE connectivity. So as much as I would like to feel that I don't need my phone as long as I have my watch, the coverage just isn't that reliable. But to be fair, I also have AT&T, and where I live at least, AT&T's coverage is terrible. So I feel like that might not be the watch's fault. I feel like that's more the carrier's fault. And then finally, the last complaint I have about this watch, which is definitely a carryover complaint from the original, and honestly it's a carryover complaint from the iPhone 4S, is Siri. I don't understand how Apple can have Siri in its product since 2011. It's 2018 and Siri is just bad. Siri on the Series 4 does work better than on the original Apple Watch, but it's still not super reliable. If you push in the crown and ask Siri to do something, it's usually the most reliable. Remind me to make an awesome video at 5 p.m.
Here's your reminder.
But the whole raise to talk and then tell Siri to do stuff only works a fraction of the time. There's still a lot of hang on a second and I'll tap you when I'm ready and things like that, where it would just be quicker to not use Siri at all. Sometimes Siri is great. A lot of times Siri is useless, and the fact that it's so unreliable means that it's definitely not something you can count on, which is unfortunate because a lot of the things that it should be able to do would actually be really, really cool and really, really helpful. But those are really my only complaints with the watch. Everything else I absolutely love and am super impressed by. So to just kind of highlight some of the main features that I've really been impressed with. The first, of course, is the speed. This watch is super fast. I think it's been benchmarked at around the speed of an iPhone from a few generations ago. Apps load super quickly. You can switch between apps really easily. It really just responds the same way you would expect a modern phone to, where it's just all kind of instant and fast. And I love that. That's a huge difference from the original Apple Watch, which was getting almost unusably slow for me. The second benefit that I've noticed that I love is the battery life. The battery life on this thing is insane. I've never gotten into power reserve mode, even when I've worn it for 18 to 20 hours at a time. It just doesn't die. I think the longest I've worn it was from 5 a.m. to midnight. It was just a super busy day. I was using the watch constantly, and it was still down only at 50% by the end of the day, or around 50%. Just for an example, right now I'm recording this at about 4:30 in the afternoon, been wearing the watch since 5:30 in the morning, I've done a full day of work, and the battery's at 76%. So the battery on this thing just lasts forever. I love it. Even if you forget to charge it one night, you don't need to worry about it, you're good to go, and that I think is awesome. Another big plus to this is the durability. It's exactly what I expected coming from a stainless steel original. I got the stainless steel Series 4, and the reason that I really prefer the stainless steel is mainly because of the sapphire crystal display. It's super tough. The only thing that's supposed to be able to scratch it is a diamond. I don't really walk around with a lot of diamonds. so it's usually not an issue for me. It can become cracked or chipped if it hits something really hard, so you do kind of need to watch out for that. But as far as scratches go, there's no need for a screen protector or anything like that on the sapphire crystal display. And then the stainless steel body does get scratches and scuffs. Here's basically what it looks like after 45 days. I have not babied this thing. I wear it to work every day. I wear it to the gym. I work in the yard with it. I work on projects with it. I wear it all the time. I don't want to say I don't take care of it, but I definitely don't go out of my way to baby it. I use it like the watch that it's supposed to be used as. Fortunately, with the silver stainless steel Apple Watch, it's really easy to just polish out the scratches and scuffs and make the watch look brand new again. I actually made a video on how to do that. I haven't done that yet with this watch because I wanted to be able to share with you what it looked like after 6 weeks of use, but I usually end up doing it about every 2 or 3 months. And then the last big thing that I really love about this watch is the display. This is the 44mm version. I have the 42mm original Apple Watch, so this is the biggest Apple Watch. And the one nearest my hand is the Series 4 44mm Apple Watch, and the other one is the original Apple Watch, the 42mm version. So they're really not that different in size. The Series 4 is a little bit bigger, but it really doesn't make a difference in everyday use. And in terms of thickness, they're really not that different from one another either. So I didn't really notice a huge difference going from the original Apple Watch to the Series 4. It was really easy to get used to, and then the giant screen just made everything totally come to life. But the fact that the display is a bit bigger and really like goes edge to edge makes a huge difference, not only in just how nice everything looks, but also with how easy it is to interact with the display. Just typing in your passcode when you first put on the watch is so much easier, especially in the morning if I'm waking up and trying to turn off the alarm. I would often like hit the wrong buttons and mess it up a bunch of times. With this, it's really easy to be accurate without trying too hard. The giant display is a huge upgrade, and honestly, I think it's kind of overlooked. I know it's sort of a big deal, but I don't know if I've seen that really appreciated as much as it should be. That alone could be a reason to upgrade, to be honest. So should you upgrade to the Apple Watch Series 4? If you have the original Apple Watch or a Series 1 or a Series 2, I think it's kind of a no-brainer, especially for the speed, the battery life, the increased screen size. It's a big upgrade. If you have a Series 3, especially an LTE Series 3, I don't know if you're gonna notice the speed difference quite as much because those are also really fast watches. So if you have the Series 3, it would really come down to screen size and battery life. If you feel like you're not getting the battery life you want from the Series 3, the Series 4 might offer a bit more, and it definitely will offer that bigger display, which really does make a huge difference. So I hope that gave you some insight on the Apple Watch Series 4. I really do love it, especially after using it every day for the past 6 weeks and then coming from the original Apple Watch for 3 years before that. I really do feel like the Apple Watch has gotta be the best smartwatch out there right now. I really can't think of any other device out there in terms of both hardware and software that can really match up to where the Apple Watch is. So this is my end screen. A lot of people have said that they don't like the music during my end screen, but I actually spent a lot of time trying to find the perfect 8-bit song for my end screen, and I really like it. There's also places where I can put videos that I think you might like, and a spot for a button to subscribe. I wouldn't mind if that were a thing that you did.